How's it going, everyone? Got a bit to talk about in this video, including an update on the development studio behind the 2025 Game of the Year for me so far. Clair, Obscur, Expedition 33, we'll talk about that. Speaking of RPGs, we've got a couple of updates on various RPGs as well. Square Enix announced a plethora of new RPGs, Octopath Traveler 0, which we have covered on this channel, but the one that I might be even more excited about, and I can confidently actually say I'm more excited about this one, The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales, will be coming out in 2026. If you have a Switch 2, there's a demo available right now. I think this game looks awesome. I think this is something that is going to be one of the standouts of 26. We'll talk about that. And a classic RPG will be getting a remaster kind of out of nowhere in 2025. More on that at the end of this video. But first of all, Automaton Media has had a discussion with Clair, Obscur, Expedition 33 developers Guillaume Baroche and Tom Gillerman, the creative director and lead programmer of the game, respectively, are Baroche and Gillerman. Gillerman says as far as the studio expanding, he noted this: I think that for now, I'd prefer working as a small team. I'm not sure how big an ideal team would be, but when it comes to making a full-price turn-based RPG, I believe that the team we have now is just the right size. Reading between the tea leaves, does that mean the next game that they're going to be working on is going to be a turn-based RPG? Because it notes when it comes to making a full-price turn-based RPG, which, you know, that's what Expedition 33 is, but now if you're moving on to a new game, are you going to need to expand the studio if it's a different kind of game, given that you're saying that you want this team that you have now? That makes me think that their next game is going to be a turn-based RPG as well, which, based on the success of Expedition 33, I think going in a different direction would be incredibly foolish right now. But at this point, Sandoval can do whatever they want. Now, they continued, we had 5 people working on environments, 2 on the story, and I think around 3 to 6 people worked on the cinematics. The music was done by 4 people. Broche says he notes that while the team was small, everything worked out well because of all of the members were so highly skilled. After establishing our company, we conducted over 200 interviews in order to gather the first team members. The screenings were rather rigorous. However, the first rounds of interviews, he said that his focus was on finding young, talented people that had the fighting spirit as opposed to the seasoned industry professionals. Sounds like he wanted to inject kind of like that new blood into the development studio, which makes sense. At the time, our VFX artist and character designer had both just graduated from college, and this game was their first job ever. Since they had very little experience working, they also didn't have many existing notions of what work was supposed to be like, which I think was a good thing because they managed to adapt to our peculiar work style. Sandfall Interactive has gotten a lot of shine this year with Expedition 33, and one of the major elements of Expedition 33 is that, oh my god, 33 people worked on this game, when in reality, you know, they had a lot of help from outside development groups and whatnot, but the core team was 33 people. Obviously, if you get to the credits, there's a lot more than 33 people involved, but what you can say is that this didn't have the significant budget that a lot of major games have had this year, and, you know, in recent years, and it still turned out to be incredible. It is a front runner for Game of the Year, and in terms of what this game does well, it does really well. And more than anything, I feel like if anybody plays Expedition 33, they can realize there's a level of passion and soul to this game that you don't get from a lot of big budget experiences. Not to say all big budget games fall into this category. I think there are times where a game being a bigger budget and having so much attention to detail and having such a gigantic team makes sense, but across the board, I just don't think that's sustainable, especially given that not every game is going to sell millions upon millions upon millions of copies. So when you have a game with a bloated budget, a team that is so gigantic, what happens when that game ultimately isn't a gigantic success? Oh, I'll tell you what happens. Look at what happened with Striking Distance Studios after the Callisto Protocol came out. Look at what happened with Ascendant Studios after Immortals of Aveum came out. We see this story play out over and over again, and a lot of games that have these significant budgets attached to them just aren't that successful, whereas I think scaling it back a little bit, focusing on what the game is at a core, and not to say Expedition 33 was a game with a tiny budget, it absolutely was not, but it didn't have the budget as a lot of these other bigger games do, and that level of presentation, that quality, it's still evident that this game is comparable to a top-level AAA game. The fact is they got it done with a smaller scale, and it came out at a smaller price point as well, a lower price point of $50, which I think people appreciated as well. Moving on from that, publisher and developer Square Enix and developer Claytek Works have announced the HD 2D action RPG, The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales. Is coming out for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch 2, and PC, so it is totally forgoing on the previous generation platforms. No PS4 release, no Xbox One release, no Nintendo Switch 1 release. It'll be next-gen platforms only, and it is an HD 2D RPG, and again, that debut demo is available right now. The overview of the game and what I really think this game is, it's ease with the HD 2D style, and if you tell me that, if that's what we're getting here, I'm all aboard on that. The game notes, Hope is Timeless, a brand new action RPG from the creators of Octopath Traveler and Bravely Default. The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales combines stunning HD 2D visuals and exciting action-adventure gameplay. For the first time, in a corner of a continent overrun with beast tribes, the kingdom of the hunter is humanity's sole bastion kept safe. After the discovery of unknown ruins, the adventurer Elliot and his fairy sidekick Faye brave the dangers outside the kingdom on a journey spanning not only the continent, but its 1,000-year history. Open new paths as you explore this untamed continent and reveal the world's mysterious history. Enjoy intuitive and rewarding action-based battle with a healthy dose of strategic support abilities from a fairy. Herein are intertwined the fates of one adventurer and one fairy. It is time to unravel the threads of history. A brand new RPG, the first in the HD 2D series, which combines pixel art and 3D CG. There's more story background that they have dropped. I'll go over it more so in a future video, but the main character is Elliot. The hero of this adventure. He makes his living as an adventurer who undertakes requests from townspeople in exchange for rewards. Love his character design, and I'm happy that this game, unlike Octopath Traveler, you have one character at the helm of the entire story, and it's going to focus around that character, and he's got one companion in the fairy. I think that's style is going to work well for an action RPG like this is. But again, if you have a Switch 2, there's a debut demo and they're collecting feedback on that. Unfortunately, that demo is not available on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC, but nonetheless, that is coming out in 2026. And lastly, Sacred 2 Fallen Angel will be getting a remaster. That has been announced for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC, and that'll be coming out in Q4 of 2025. Anarchia stands on the brink. T-Energy, the mysterious power source that once brought prosperity, now fuels corruption, conflict, and chaos in the midst of a war and betrayal. 6 heroes rise, each with their own fate, abilities, and path through a living, breathing open world. In this remaster of beloved action RPG, Sacred 2 Fallen Angels, players return to a massive fantasy realm filled with hundreds of quests, dangerous dungeons, and unique combat arts to master, battle monstrous creatures, uncover ancient secrets, and help shape your character through loot, leveling, and deep customization. It includes all expansion and updates in one definitive edition, smoother, more responsive combat, modern UI, and full controller support, enhanced textures, lighting effects, and view distance, and community-driven fixes and improved stability. All that will be available Q4 of 2025. No official date on that, but I'll keep you guys updated. A lot of exciting talk on RPGs as far as Expedition 33 Studio Sandfall goes. They'll seemingly be keeping their team size. I'm sure they'll be doing some recruiting, and again, it's more than 33 people working on their games, but looking forward to hear what they've got going on. I'm sure Expedition 33 will get some DLC. I'm sure they've got a big project in development, or that will be entering development, so we'll see how all of that turns out. The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales will be coming out in 2026. That has shot up to one of my more anticipated games of 26. And Sacred 2 Fallen Angel will be getting a remaster coming in Q4 of 2025. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.